Hello, and welcome to Color Commentary. I'm TJ, your average fan, and I'll be talking to you today about a movie. If, yes, starring, I can't think of his name, it's so sad, Ryan Reynolds. So, oh yes, and Zach, whatever his name is, the one that played uh, Shazam. Anyway, let's get into it, shall we? Spoilers! Okay, so we are following this little girl whose name is B. And I got to start off by saying this was a sad movie. It was sad. And not in a bad way, it just made you sad. You know, I will admit I teared up a couple times, but I didn't cry, but I teared up. And I was upset that it made me tear up because it was so good. Yeah. So B is the one whose viewpoint we are with, and she's the one doing the voiceover, telling the story about what's going on with herself. And she was a happy little kid. She had a vivid imagination, and her mom got sick with cancer, and eventually she passed away while she was still a little girl. So she has a fear of death, of losing a parent, and all of that good stuff. And now her father is in the hospital. That's the Zach guy, and he has some heart problems. I don't know if he's getting a heart transplant or whatever. They didn't really go into his heart issues, only that his heart was broken. So she's afraid of what might happen to him, and so because she lost her mother so young, she's a little tougher. She don't consider herself a kid. She's not a kid anymore. She keeps saying it. She said it several times throughout the movie, until finally she broke down and said she was just a kid. And that got me emotional. I was like, oh, she finally realizes she don't have to be tough little girl anymore. She can ask for help. But anyway, she's been with her grandmother while her father is in the hospital right now. And so, her grandmother had all her little stuff when she was a little girl, and she's not into that stuff no more. All of her little arts and crafts and imaginative things. And so, one day, she saw something running around outside the building that she's in, and so she followed it up to the top floor, and there's some dude living up there that shooed her away. So then she saw something again one day, and she went back and followed it until she opened the door, and lo and behold, it was an imaginary friend. That's what IF stands for. This guy is up there. His name is Cliff, I believe. He Ryan Reynolds' character. Yeah, his job is to find new homes for old imaginary friends. So the kids grew up, they didn't need them anymore, so they say, and so they need to find new kids. So the bulk of the movie is her trying to, one, convince him that she can help him find some new kids, and two, them working together to find some new kids for these imaginary friends, which it comes to find out wasn't working out. It's not working out finding new kids. Um, so what she realized was put the imaginary friends back with the people they originally created them. You know, there's one imaginary friend named Cloak and Dagger, my freaking favorite. My freaking favorite. He is awesome. He's like a sleuthy, sneaky detective like imaginary friend. It is hilarious, and he's manic. I love it. He's my favorite one. They focused a lot on Blue, who happens to be a giant purple thing, and yeah, he is voiced by Steve Carell. So he was funny in his own right. And yeah, and then there was another one that was like a butterfly-looking thing. You could tell it was very old-timey, like from the 20s. Turns out that one in turn belonged to her grandmother, who wanted to be a dancer. So she got them back together. Crazy. They started glowing and everything. It was awesome. And she got Blue back together with his person, who had become an adult, of course, and was trying to do business and be serious. But turns out he really needed his best friend, and he got to glowing, and everybody started getting their people back. And I was like, oh, this is so great. But the most emotional part was when her father's surgery happened, and they weren't sure, it was touch and go what was going to happen to him, and she was afraid, and she ran to Cliff telling him she needed him. He's like, I'm here for you, you know. And once that was all settled and he realized that the father was okay, they kind of, imaginary friends kind of disappeared. Like even Cliff, he disappeared. And so she went searching for them and come to find out at the end of the day that Cliff was her imaginary friend from when she was still using her imagination because she's still a kid. Oh, that was so emotional. I was like, oh my God, that's why he was just on her side and helping her. She had, mind you, the imaginary friends had a whole retirement home. And from Cliff running it, it was looking real retirement home-ish and dilapidated and run down. But when she took over and started imagining what she felt like it should look like, beautiful, beautiful place that they had to live in. It was awesome at this closed amusement park. It was great. But to find out that Cliff was actually her imaginary friend just blew me away. I was like, that's great. Great writing. Awesome, great writing. This had good writing. It had a great script. I gotta say, great script, good writing. Can't say it enough, clearly. It also had good special effects, production, all of that stuff. So this was an excellent movie. If I had to rate this movie, I'd give this movie an 8 because it was sad. So it's not like something you want to rewatch a whole bunch of times, but you definitely want to probably watch it one more time after you've watched it the first time because it is a good movie. Yeah. So that was If, all about imaginary friends and this little girl named Bee. Great movie. I will see you guys next time for another one. In the meantime, have a great day.